Hey, it's Tom from Annals BMX, and in this video we're going to be building up one of the Skyway Street Beat frame kits, the 2024 reissue kits. We're going to do the chrome one in this video. If you want to see a full unboxing experience of these frames, check out our other video, link is in the description, where we go through everything that's included and how it's packed. But in this one, we're just going to build it up. And luckily, we're here at the home of old school BMX in the UK, allensbmx.com. We're going to go around, pick some parts, and then get Adam to build up the bike. So come with us. Cool, so we've picked all the parts here at Allens BMX. We've come down the stairs and we've hooked up with Adam here. He's going to be building the bike for us. So Adam, you've had a quick look over the frame here. What are the key differences between building up something like this versus your traditional old 80s BMX bike?
There's a few things. Mostly it's in the bearing groups. So you've got the smaller mid-size bottom bracket for the more modern bottom bracket size. You also have the integrated 1 1/8 headset rather than the old school cup size. And also you have the 990 brake lugs for the modern style caliper brakes rather than the old MX-1000s and MX-890s.
So yeah, be careful of that with your part selection. A few other things to make note of as well is it's going to be using a 25.4mm seat post and a larger 28.6mm seat clamp. So make sure you jot those numbers down. And also one other build note we've noticed with these frames, it has removable guide tabs for your cables here, which are not included with the frame. So you will need to pick those up separately, and we will have those available over on the website. But that's a pretty big deal because you'll get right to the end of the build and you won't have these tiny little tabs and you won't be able to set the brakes up. That's if you're even going to run brakes on it. One other quick note as well is that it is a 10mm rear dropout, perfect for the old school Skyways, and you can fit the larger 44 tooth sprocket on the front, and that's what we're going to be doing here. So let's have a quick rundown of the parts and then we'll get to building. All right, so we'll quickly go through some of the parts we've selected. We've gone through the Diacomp Tech 77 levers in all black. These are compatible with the 990 style Hombre brakes that we've selected here. For the chainring and crank setup, we've gone for the Redline Flight cranks. We've got one of our Tribal USA bottom brackets, but don't worry, we'll show you a trick because those are actually the mid-BB bearings inside. We've gone for black chainring bolts, Suntour style ring, profile retro spider, one of our black Tribal headsets, some gyro tabs, which will mate up with the Odyssey G3 gyro system we're going to fit, Sunday Freeze top load stem for a bit more rise on the front end, Oxford alloy seat post, nice and long, classic Amy tri-grips, yes they still make those and we have them available on the site. We've got the Panaracer HP 406 tires for that freestyle kind of vibe, classic pair of Skyways along with the seat, fork, handlebars and the frame that is included in the kit there. There is going to be a couple of other smaller pieces such as the seat clamp and the freewheel that we've not shown here, but that's pretty much what you're going to need to build up the bike.
Now guys, just putting this together and we've come across our first snag here. So we had spec'd the Odyssey G3 gyro, which is the cheaper one that we usually use on our builds. And unfortunately, the center bore of the gyro plate is not big enough to clear either the top cap of the headset or the actual cup in the frame. I'll demonstrate that to you now. Here's the G3 and you can see it gets caught up. There's literally not enough room to clear either the top cap or the frame. So what we have luckily here is the Total BMX Chaos Gyro Detangler, which is a more modern bush style one with the CNC'd alloy. And as you can see, this one has a couple mil either side. Now I have just measured with my calipers here the cup of the frame, and it's come up at 46.2 millimeters. So any gyro you want to use, you'll have to make sure the actual detangler piece has a center bore larger than 46.2 millimeters. Otherwise it's not going to clear that top cup there. Alright guys, so our second little snag here, well not so much a snag, but something we wanted to point out to you. On the back brake, we're going to use the Diacomp Hornbray brake, like we said in the spec list, but we're actually going to use the angled variant. So you can see here, a little bit of a dog's leg, it sticks out a little bit further. Now the reason for that, the reason we're using it on the back, is because the AD990 mounts here, you can see are a little bit further back than they would be on traditional modern frame, and also you've got this very steep angle here. So basically our cable's going to come out here, and we want to basically a straight line. There's going to be a tiny bit of a downward angle, but if we use the non-angled one, that cable would be quite a severe angle, which isn't ideal really. You want a nice straight pull on your brake. So yeah, we're going to use the angled Hornbray on the back rather than the regular one. Cool, so one cool thing we wanted to highlight about these new Street Beat frames is they've done you a favor. They've made it so even though it uses the modern size mid-bottom bracket, they've made it so you can actually run a 44 tooth chainring, which you usually can't do with a modern frame because the chainring would just hit the stay here. But as you can see, they've even beveled it in for you quite nicely. Now mine here, because of the bottom bracket setup I've used and the spacers and cups it come with, mine's actually sat with a good 10 mil clearance there, but you could even go closer in. You could probably run it even a little bit bigger if you wanted to. So that's a really nice feature from Skyway there. You can run the old 44 tooth style chain rings on a modern style frame.
And wow, doesn't it look great? I mean, this turned out absolutely awesome. Far better than I imagined. So we're going to have these as a standard build available over on allensbmx.com. And by standard build, we mean like, hey, here's a selection of parts, here's a price. And if you wanted to kind of change things out or customize things, we can definitely accommodate that. But this kind of covers everything, so you know you're not missing anything out on the build. And if you want something like this, jump over on the site, allensbmx.com. These do come in other colors apart from chrome. They also come in orange, white, and green. So if you want to build on one of those, check out one of our other standard builds that we'll also have up on the website. And if you are interested in just the frame, fork, seat, and bar frame kit, we also have those available on the site over on allensbmx.com. So yeah, get in touch and we'll hook you up with your dream Skyway build. Now, what would you change on this bike? Would you build anything differently? Let us know in the comments below. One thing we're going to also try is putting on a more solid CD disc style chainring on the front here and see how that looks. A little bit more freestyle, but personally, I'm a big fan of the spider chainring combo. So yeah, let us know in the comments below. Check out our other videos as well on the YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, all that good stuff. And yeah, we'll see you out.